Here we are with the start of another Monday morning, and I need to get cracking as usual because time is always short on a Monday. So let's have a quick look at what we've got in. We've got 16 orders on Bricklink, and one of those right at the bottom here is a pretty meaty one. That's 174 lots, only 561 items. So the items are not a lot considering the lot count, but it's a nice value, £193, and it's from someone who's a big fan of the channel, and it's the first order with me, but we've had a little bit of correspondence, and they told me that they wanted to support me and the channel, and regular watcher, and will be tuning in, I'm sure, to see their order in this week's coming vlog. So anyway, we've got 408 lots in total, only 1,685 items. So again, the items per lot is pretty low overall. And then to go with those 16, we have got 9 more on Brick Owl, all pretty low lot counts, highest one being 10, which is good. And then we have on eBay, we've got 3 ready to go out. Now, as seems to be the norm these days, we started last night. I've got an eBay one to pick there still, so just need to get that finished. We've got some parts going out there, an order here for some manuals, and I actually started the morning by going through instruction booklets upstairs to find these. There are 2 more on my desk to go with this, and then this is complete. And this, leaving the other items in cups, is basically my indicator to say that the order's not finished. So as soon as they're bagged, then the order will be finished and ready to go. And then I'll just stop really at any particular points of interest. We've got a giraffe guy going out, minifig parts, another instruction booklet going out there with some parts and a sticker. We've got a dark grey torso. This one is complete. I just put these in this pot because of all of the small parts and bags in here. Didn't want them getting mixed up with another order. So lots of the quarter tiles going out there in quantities of 50 in a multitude of colours. More parts orders there. We've got another 6 over here. This is where I really struggle with sort of desk space in terms of having the room to lay all of the orders out like this. And nothing particularly interesting. We've got some of the medium Azure track going out there, which I believe is for a friend's set, I would imagine, in that kind of colour. And then more parts orders over here. So I'm about ready to get this lot packed up, and then I've got another batch of orders to do after this. I'm definitely not going to make the 10 o'clock post with all of the orders, so I'm going to get done as much as I can, and then some of the orders will have to go to the post office or to a post box later in the morning. So here we are with the second batch of orders, a couple of eBay orders. First, we've got a actor from Series 8. We've got a Bad Cop Dimension set. And then we've got some more parts orders mixed with minifig parts, some Bionicle stuff. Another parts order, some minifig items, and then a sort of cargo net, or whatever you want to call them. So I need to get these packed up. I've got about 15 minutes before I need to go to the post office. I've got 2 more orders to do. I've got one here, and then I've got one I haven't printed yet, which is the 175 lot order. so I'll do those when I get back from the post office. Just had a delivery by Royal Mail, and this is an order for someone from one of these groups that will pick up parts for you from the Pick a Brick wall, and they'll happily do it. I think the idea is, you know, you pay the regular cost of the cup, they get the points, you pay the postage of course and any PayPal fees, and I think everybody's happy. It's a win-win for everyone. So what have I picked up? I've just picked up some of these plant stems, some trees, and I asked them to fill any space with the, you know, one by ones, etc. So they've just thrown some random things in there, and then some light grey bricks and some medium nugget bricks. So just those lots. A lot of the stuff on the wall I'm not that interested in, so it's really just a case of looking out for special lots that I think are worth adding to the store. So I'm going to get these added now, and they'll make a nice addition, and hopefully they'll help bring in some more orders. Now of course lots and lots of sellers are picking up from the Pick a Brick wall, so it's not that you're going to be, you know, the only one out there selling them, but you're adding these in combination with the other lots in your store. So in my case, you know, you've got 13,000 other lots, and you're adding these to those lots. It's going to attract more customers. The light bluish grey in particular is just a case of refilling. I've still got some of those. It's really just a case of topping up, which you need to do. As a seller, you need to keep on top of your stock and just keep topping up the popular bricks as they sell out. I'm sure that lots of you know, but the VIP program run by Lego has now changed and is now Lego Insiders, and it's essentially a rebranding of the VIP experience, and most of the things in there I think are pretty much the same. Now the one major exception to that everybody's been talking about, it's all over YouTube and other places, is that you can now scan in your instruction booklets that you've amassed from purchasing Lego, maybe outside of the Lego store, and will qualify for 20 points per scanned instruction set. Now, I think the 20 points seems to equate to different amounts around the world, and I'm told that in the UK it means that the points that you can scan from a booklet are actually worth about 12.5 pence, which on the face of things is not a lot of money. But being a brick store owner, I have amassed hundreds, if not thousands, of instruction booklets, many of which are fairly new, and I think the date for this dates back to 2018. So for instruction booklets from 2018 onwards, they will have this little QR code in the corner, and you can simply scan that. Unfortunately, I can't do it and show you while I'm using my phone to video this, but you will be able to scan that code and it will add it to your points. Now, I've done one just to see what the process was like. So that's going to show in your points history as you add these. So if I go into my points history, and I don't have that many points at the moment, but if you look here, 21st of the 8th, product registration, 20 points. So that is for me scanning a single instruction booklet. Now, as I say, I've got lots of these, and I'm considering going through and scanning all of them in to benefit from the points. Now, that probably means I'm going to have to start putting comments in my instruction books on Bricklink. If I go to my store and I go and look down in my list here, then I've got 126 lots of instruction booklets. Now, not all of these will qualify, but a lot of them will, and in some of these cases I'll have multiples of the instruction booklets. And to be honest, a lot of people have said it's not worth my time. That scanning of that one booklet that I did took probably 5 seconds. Now all of my instruction booklets are together, so it would take relatively little time, I think, to scan, you know, dozens if not hundreds of instruction books. So I think I'm going to do that because they just sat eating up space. I'll put something in my terms to say that you know, the QR code may have been used. I don't know what would happen actually if you tried to scan the same code. Again, I'm told that all of the codes on the instruction books are unique to each instruction book. So I don't know what would happen if somebody else tried to scan that booklet in as well. I'm sure we'll find out in the fullness of time, but I think that's going to be my approach anyway. Here's the last of today's orders going out. Some of these I commented on earlier in that I at least had the orders to pick, but I haven't shown you them yet. So the first one was this parts order with a couple of manuals going out. And then the big one for the weekend is this one. And I mentioned earlier that this was a watcher of the channel, and this was the first order with the store. They wanted to support me and the channel, and they've placed a fantastic order here for all minifig parts, and it was 175 lots or so, I think, for close to £200. So they triggered the free shipping obviously when they went over 100, and I mean, it was particularly quick to pick, to be honest, because of the way I store the minifig parts. Whenever I hit an organizer with the minifig parts in, then I was pulling multiple lots out of there, and it was really mostly just a case of standing near those minifig organizers and pulling the parts. So most lots were, you know, 1s, 2s, 3s, which made it easy as well. But yeah, really nice and easy to pick given the lot count. We've got a few swords going out, and then another parts order there as well. So I'm going to get these packed up. These are going to have to go into a post box, and I've got to pop out in a little while anyway, so I'll drop them in the post box while I'm out. And then not sure what we're doing the rest of the week. We may end up going away for a few days. We still need to make that decision tonight. It's depending on a few other factors that I won't go into. But if we go, it might mean that I'm out of the store for 2 or 3 days. So there won't be maybe much of a vlog going on if that happens. And we'll catch up with a few things at the end of the week. Now, if I do go, I won't be closing the store. I will leave the store open with some notes on the shipping policy to say that things will ship on the day I return. And if people want to still go ahead and place orders, they can, and that way they can secure any parts that I've got in the store if they're not in a rush for them. It's Thursday the 24th of August, and as I'd hinted in a previous video, we were contemplating going away for a few days, and it didn't quite go to plan, and we ended up coming home a day early. So we had a couple of days away, and in that time I just put a notice on the stores to say that I would be not mailing until Friday the 25th. Now, as it happens, here I am on the 24th, sending those packages out. So the people who have ordered will be pleased that they're getting sent out a day earlier than they anticipated. But I'm sure that put a few people off ordering. But anyway, what we've got in to send off is 6 orders on Bricklink, and nothing of any great sort of lot count or anything. There's only 28 lots across the whole 6 orders, so easy enough to pick. Similar story on Brick Owl, where we've got 5 orders and a few moderate lot counts, 25, 26, etc., but nothing significant at all. And then on eBay we've got 2 orders to ship out as well. Now I have picked them, as is often the case, because it is now 9:10 in the morning and I need to go to the post office in about 30 minutes. So let's just have a quick look at what we've got. We've got a Lunar Lovegood going out on eBay, and we've got a Violin Kid going out on eBay, and then we've got a few minifigures going out. Now this guy left a note to say he was a big fan of the channel, and he was wishing me luck with the store, and also thanks for all of the tips, etc., that have enabled him to set up a store as well. So good luck with the store, and thanks for the order. Now on to other orders, and really these are all just pretty regular parts orders. We have got international one. This one's going off to Australia, I think. It's either Australia or New Zealand. This one only came in sort of 10 minutes ago, so they're going to be happy that that's going out. And then over here we've got a Green Goblin torso, which is normally a very expensive torso, and this one is still relatively expensive. This is sold for £9. But I do say in the comments that the torso is cracked on both sides, so hopefully they noticed that comment, and there are no issues with that. And then we've got a few bits and pieces, minifig parts, etc. Now I got a bit lucky with this order in that when I went to the drawer where these were meant to be, they weren't in that drawer. So I was thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have to go looking all over the place. But then I realized while I was away, I called in at the Lego store and bought a couple of cups, and one of the cups, as luck would have it, was a cup full of these leaf pieces. So I've simply just taken them straight out of the cup, and I'll worry about locating them properly later. So I also picked up some lampposts and a few other just parts just to really fill the cup. So I'm going to get these packed up, and on the way to the post office I'll get those cups counted and added to the inventory, and then we'll crack on as normal. So I've just counted out the parts that I got in the 2 Pick-a-Brick cups, and these are the 4 parts that were in there. The round 1x1 open studs were only used to act as filler to get into all of the nooks and crannies to maximize space within the cups. And surprisingly, it turned out those are worth at least sort of 6p, and these are all priced fairly moderately, below 6-month average. But there's some ridiculously cheap items on there. People who go to the Pick-a-Brick regularly, by the look of it, and they use that as a business model to, you know, go in super cheap on those items, or they feel they have to go super cheap to sell them because everybody's picking them up and selling them. Now, I don't pick up that much from the Pick-a-Brick at all. I focused on these parts, which I think will either be decent sellers or will, you know, be snapped up in quantity. And I think the leaf item, for instance, will be picked up in quantity potentially I have at times when they were much more expensive than this, the lampposts have sold, you know, 30-40 lampposts when they were about £3 each. Now, because of the pick-a-brick, obviously that's brought the price down dramatically, because they only ever used to be in the modular sets typically, and that made them really expensive because of how expensive those sets are. But anyway, this all these parts came in 2 cups, and it's £15.99 per cup, so effectively £30, and that gets you a value of £163.63. So close to 6 times the cost, which is a real good deal. But of course, you have to be prepared to sit on these for a while. I mean, I still have stuff in inventory that I've picked up on pick-a-brick walls years ago, and I've still got some in inventory. So some you win, some you lose, and you've got to be prepared to sit for quite a while. So I'm quite prepared with these particular items, and I'm pretty sure I'll get my money back relatively quickly. It's Friday the 25th, and yesterday I took it fairly easy, being that, you know, it was meant to have been a day's vacation, and I spent some time scanning instruction books, as I think I touched on in the video previously, and I've probably done less than a quarter of the instructions that I've got to do, and I realize that it's going to be a multi-day job, you know, and by that I mean that I just can't do it all day. It's just too tedious. So I'll spread it over a few days. But to give you some indication, I have managed to get close to 6,000 points. I think I had 700 at the time I started. So that's not a bad return, but it's really only about, I don't know, 30 or 40 pounds worth. So you could argue it's not really worth the time, but hey, it's free money. So I figured I'd spend an easy couple of hours and sit at my desk and just scan books. Here's a small sample of what I was doing yesterday. You know, it was super easy to do. Now, in terms of this morning, it has gone kind of quiet the last few days, and I don't know how much of that, well, obviously some of that is me putting the notice on my storefronts to say that I would be away and wouldn't be shipping until Friday, but it's potentially still quiet. But we're heading into the payday weekend, which will hopefully speed things up. It's also a public holiday weekend in the UK, so it'll be an extended weekend, and we won't be starting work again until Tuesday of next week. So that'll probably mean quite a few orders when we get to Tuesday, because of the extended weekend, but also because of payday, hopefully, at least. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the few orders going out today. We've got an order going out here with a Batman poly bag and a 007 figure and a couple of other bits and pieces. We've also got a party cake collectible minifigure. We've got some black strings going out there, and then the others are a couple of parts orders. And we've then got a Zane minifig here going out for £9. And then on eBay, we've sold a Robin polybag, and that's it for this morning. So just those 6 orders. We have got another small order in from Germany, which I've just invoiced. So when they pay that, we'll get that out the door as well. As for today, I think I'm going to work on the bags of minifigs and things that I've got here, maybe do some more heads, because I've been hit pretty hard with minifig parts lately. So I'm going to try and add some more into the store and see if that attracts a few sales. So I'm continuing to work through the minifig parts. I've managed to make up a few figures, nothing exciting. just a Falcon, a Batman, and a couple of Ninjago, I think. No great super valuable parts in here that I've seen so far. So I'm going to move on now to these leg assemblies, and these are the ones that have a different hip colour to the actual legs. And I'm not sure, if I'm honest, which ones of these are likely, if any, to fetch a decent value. So let's just try one. I just expect these to be around the I don't know, 30-40 pence sort of mark. There you go, 20 pence for that particular one. So we'll see if we get any value. Of course, the combined value should be worthwhile, but the first thing to do is get them all sorted into cups and start separating them out into the various colours. And then once I've got them into colours, I'll go through and do a quick quality check to see what they're like. Obviously there's lots in here that would do as Star Wars leg assemblies, at least for the earlier kind of stormtrooper type figures, etc. So going to work through these, and I'll come back maybe and tell you if there's anything of any particular value. So I finished adding all of the legs, and as I suspected, nothing of any major value. There ended up being 181 of them in 37 lots for about £56. So nothing you know, to shout about really, but also lots of I'll just pull these out, but lots of legs that just didn't quite make it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these at the moment. Some of them I may be able to just swap the legs around, and others will probably just go into the scrap bin, or alternatively, and I'm not sure how these sell, but you know, you could pull the hips off and sell the hips separately. Anyway, I'm going to get this lot listed now, along with the other things that I created the brick store file for this morning, and get them uploaded. And then I think it's going to be a quick tidy up in preparation for the long weekend. And we're going to have another short week next week, unfortunately, with the bank holiday, but we'll try and get a bit more done, and try and get lots more into the store next week, because it's been with going away, it's been a little light on getting things uploaded to the store, and I'd really like to improve that next week. Now I am going to Legoland on Sunday, so I might pick some things up there to go into the store. You never know.